Hi, welcome to week 6 of virtual school. I'm your teacher, Mr. Cohn. We are on day 41 of the coronavirus lockdown, and my beard is gone. This week we're going to keep talking about what happened after the Roman Empire split apart and the western half collapsed. Remember, last week we had the Roman Empire was doing super well and crushing it during Augustus. But then we had some problems that started to happen and some failures of emperors and some outside forces caused the empire to end up collapsing. Specifically, we had Emperor Theodosius split the Roman Empire into two parts by drawing a line on a map. Never a good idea. Don't draw lines on maps. Doesn't work out well for people. And unfortunately, the western half fell, as we learned last week, and Rome itself, the city, was conquered by Germanic invaders in 476 Common Era. However, the purple half, the eastern half there, was still a thriving empire. As we'll learn this week, even though the Western Roman Empire collapsed in 476, the Eastern Roman Empire lived on for 977 years, only finally collapsing in 1453 when the city of Constantinople was conquered by the Turks and renamed to the city of Istanbul. A great symbol of this transition is the great church, the Hagia Sophia, which after 1453, which was not destroyed by the conquering Turks. Instead, it was turned into a mosque, and they built these minarets to transition it from being a church to a mosque. And that brings us to our next important point about history this week, is that we're going to get a new world religion that will happen during the time of the Eastern Roman Empire that will eventually end up conquering the Eastern Roman Empire. So, that brings us to the religion of Islam. Last week we learned about Judaism and its prophets Moses and Abraham and how they taught about the Ten Commandments, and then we learned about Christianity and how a Jew named Jesus created a new set of teachings based around loving God and loving other people. And then he was executed by the Romans, but then his followers spread Christianity throughout the Roman Empire, and then eventually even converting the Emperor Constantine, who made Christianity legal and spread it all throughout Europe. However, there is another religion that's going to come up this week, which is Islam. And Islam is a religion that is widely practiced today by over 1.8 billion people. Their holy book is called the Quran, and their most important prophet is Muhammad, but they also recognize Jesus and Moses as being important prophets too, and they still all consider their ancestor to be Abraham, the legendary man who made a covenant with God. The prophet Muhammad came to live in what is the city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. He came around 600 Common Era, and in 610 he claimed to have a revelation from God that was a new teachings to add on to the previous monotheistic traditions. Muhammad taught that there were 5 important things to do in his religion of Islam. The first one is similar to Christianity and Judaism in that there is only one God. He also had his followers, who were called Muslims, pray 5 times a day and give money to the poor. Remember, these are also important themes in Judaism and Christianity. Remember, Jesus was taught about the importance of treating the poor right. Muslims also have a holy month called Ramadan, where they fast during the day. Ramadan is actually taking place as we speak. And Muslims must make a pilgrimage to Mecca if they are able during their lifetime. Mecca is the holy city of Islam, located in Saudi Arabia, where millions of Muslims every year go to pray. After Muhammad passes away, his followers decide to spread his teachings throughout the Middle East and via conquest. And if you look at this map right here of the Eastern Roman Empire, in purple, you'll see that it kind of butts up against Saudi Arabia, where the Mohammedan and the Muslims came from. And so as the Muslims spread out of Saudi Arabia with their armies, they come in contact with the Eastern Roman Empire, and there are a series of wars that are fought between them that last for several hundred years. At first, the Muslims win a lot of the wars, and they kind of conquer most of the Eastern Roman Empire up until modern Turkey. And the Eastern Roman Empire holds out for several hundred years in their capital city of Constantinople until 1453, when the invading Muslim Turks finally conquer it and change the name to Istanbul. At this time, remember, they changed symbolically the most important building in the city, the Hagia Sophia, the famous church, from a church into a mosque. A mosque is what you call a place of worship for the religion of Islam. So this week, you have 3 things to do that are about the East Roman Empire and Islam. The first thing is to watch a crash course world history video called The Fall of the Eastern Roman Empire, and then fill out a worksheet about what you learned about it. The second thing is to read an article called The Story of Islam that goes into more detail about Muhammad and the history around the rise of Islam. The third thing is to watch a crash course, another crash course video about the Islamic empires that sprung up, and fill out a worksheet about that. Please make sure you are doing all of your assignments this week. Let me know if you need any help or have any questions. I'm available every day from 1:30 to 2:30 on Google Classroom. Hope you have a great week, everybody, and stay safe.